least you know I'm a better shot when I'm pissed off.
I'm sorry.
Hey there, quirky peeps. Today we're going to talk about how Black Widow set up its sequel even without Natasha Romanoff. It may not have been the best MCU movie, but it was certainly good at world building.
Ugh, that was disgusting.
Black Widow wanted to achieve a lot with its 134 minutes time. It told us Natasha's past while bringing in her undercover Russian family.
I will kill you all! Я буду стрелять!
And it also opened up a whole world of Black Widows. But in setting up the future, this film probably didn't do justice to what happened in the past. A bit of show and tell would have been much better, but the film was short on runtime. So it focused on showing the new stuff instead of Hawkeye's history with Natasha. That was never shown, and we were only told about it.
But since you're here, what bullet does that?
Bullets, arrows.
Ah, right.
The lack of runtime also took a bit away from Taskmaster because her fight scenes weren't much longer than the trailers. This is why Black Widow might have been better as a Disney Plus series. But anyway, what this film did pretty well was set up the future. Taskmaster could be redeemed by becoming a part of the Thunderbolts. And the post-credits scene more or less confirmed that Yelena Belova will probably join the Thunderbolts through Val. But for now, she will be going after Hawkeye. Thanks to Florence Pugh's amazing portrayal, she was the best part of this film besides Natasha. And we'll get to see plenty from her character in the future. Apart from the Hawkeye series and the eventual Thunderbolts project, there was enough setup for a sequel as well. Director Kate Shortland hinted at Black Widow 2, and now that the film has made a sizable profit already, I'm sure we will get a sequel. A whole world of Black Widows was opened up as Dreykov had placed thousands of Red Room agents all across the globe. Between the events of Black Widow and the present-day MCU, Yelena could have freed a few of them using the red dust that Melina might have reproduced. But still, there were thousands of those widows. Many of them could still be roaming around as sleeping agents, and the story could continue with that narrative. I believe that along with many of its setups, Black Widow has already set up the villain for the sequel. Now let me make it clear that Red Guardian is not going to be that villain. He is a pretty douchey version of Captain America, but his future could involve assembling the Winter Guard. According to me, Melina could be the villain in Black Widow 2. If you're not aware, Melina Vostokov is a villain called the Iron Maiden in the comics. And looking at the mask behind her in the trailers, people theorized that she could be the villain of Black Widow. Everyone thought that she could either be Taskmaster herself, or she might be revealed as Iron Maiden later on. But the film totally subverted those expectations by keeping General Dreykov as the big bad. And those masks just turned out to be photostatic veils, which we also saw in Captain America 2 and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
It's me.
But still, Melina is not in the clear. She has been working for Dreykov for all those years. She seemed very cold-hearted because of the way she treated those pigs as literal guinea pigs. I mean, Alexei was almost choked to death.
What are you doing?
Oh, I am explaining that the science is now so exact.
And it didn't even seem as if she felt any remorse for subjecting young girls to chemical subjugation.
We had our orders and we played our roles to perfection.
Who cares?
So I believe that she manipulated Natasha to do her bidding. She could have told Natasha about her real mother to gain her trust.
I thought about her every day of my life.
But her endgame would have been to end the reign of General Dreykov. It wasn't so she could free all the widows. Instead, she actually wanted to take over the Red Room operation. When she was visited by Natasha, Yelena, and Alexei, she instantly saw them as her way out of Dreykov's control. Since Dreykov had a pheromonal lock, Melina could not have harmed him herself. But she probably figured out that the only thing that could take him down is family. That's because nothing is stronger than family. Anyway, there were a few details that felt a bit strange about her. First, she agreed to land the Red Room safely so that it could be handed over to Ross. But if that would have happened, then Ross would have found Melina guilty for chemically subjugating all the girls over the years, and she could have found herself behind bars. So I think that she only pretended to bring the Red Room down safely, but her real plan was to wipe out the evidence before taking control. She sent Natasha after Dreykov so that Nat could take him out for her. She even taught Natasha how to beat his pheromonal lock and find out about all the widows. Meanwhile, she strangely had just one pair of earpiece and kept the conversation between her and Yelena. Now, since she was the one to design the Red Room, she would have known that Dreykov would be watching when she would disable the engine. So probably, she wanted him to suspend the landing sequence. And when he did, she blew up the Red Room engine instead. The entire Red Room exploded, and things became very convenient for her. Towards the end, Yelena ended up with her. Taskmaster was taken by her. She got control over the red dust, and Natasha even handed over the network of Black Widows to her and Yelena. Since Yelena trusts her as a mother, she could be exploiting that trust for years. And in the 8 years after Black Widow took place, she could have gained control over the network of Widows. Currently, she could be holding the ultimate power of the Widows, and in Black Widow 2, she'd take her true form as the Iron Maiden. It will be upon Yelena to stop her. What do you think about this analogy? Could Yelena be the villain of Black Widow 2? Will the Black Widow sequel be a Disney Plus series? Let us know your thoughts on these questions. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to check out some more fun videos on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Das Vendanya.
Such a poser.